Hip Hop Nation, what's going on with it? Your boy Torae is here. Listen, I'm feeling real good today, man. I'm feeling real good today. We got somebody who I've been watching and admiring for a long part of my career and really modeled a lot of my shit after. I mean, I don't know if we got enough time to run down all the accolades. He's one of the best MCs. You know what I mean? You see him on TV. He's a great actor. He's a great host. He's an author. You know what I mean? He's a businessman. He's part of the Sirius XM family. Am I missing anything, Al?
No,
you know what
man,
I mean?
I appreciate you. What I want to say is thank you, man, for all the support and the love you give me on the channel and just, support Rock the Bells. I appreciate you, bro.
Come on, man. Whatever I can do to be a part of what LL is doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm all for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, LL Cool J is here. L, thank you for joining us today. We got a whole lot to talk about and not a lot of time, but I do want to talk about, I guess, since we started on Rock the Bells, I definitely want to talk about Rock the Bells so that people understand what it is that you're doing. Because oftentimes, you know this, you've been a celebrity for such a long time. People slap their name or their face on something and they don't have control of it and they don't talk to the people and they don't really dictate the feel or the authenticity of it. They just get involved, right, for a check. And that's not what Rock the Bells is for you. We know that that's been your brand for the longest time from the song. But now you've taken it and enterprised it and turned it into something totally different and partnered with Sirius XM. So can you break down, I guess, the reason why you decided to do Rock the Bells Radio?
Yeah, I just felt like, I felt like classic hip hop, it wasn't being chefed up and cooked up and whipped up and presented to people in a way that people could really feel it and get it the way it was meant to be heard and felt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I felt like, a radio, it couldn't just be a jukebox. It had to be some culture. It had to be some nuance. It had to mean something to people. And there were a lot of fans out there who really wanted to know that the station cared about what they were doing, So, I made a decision and got with Scott and it took, quite a few years, 4 or 5 years, but eventually I was able to get the channel. And, I just wanted to really chef it up myself. I wanted to dot the I's and cross the T's, along with Jay and, of course, Z. I decided, I'm going to program this thing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pick every song. I'm going to pick every commercial. I'm going to pick every moment. I'm going to, help craft the imaging. I'm going to really give people a true representation and serve them a true feast of classic and timeless hip-hop, but in a modern way. We know what year it is. We know the time, we know the date. We're not in a time warp. When you listen to Rock the Bells, it's as modern as anything, right? Like, it's just, I'm presenting to you the classics. You know what I'm saying? It's just like going to a classic car show. It's like you're presenting classics that take it to another level. And that's how Rock the Bells is for me. And I feel like there are a lot of artists out there who deserve that kind of treatment and that kind of respect. I feel like, when you look at the rock game, you had these, you have the Bonos and the Mick Jaggers and the Bob Dylans and the Beatles. They get this certain type of respect,
right,
and this certain type of reverence. And I felt like Rock the Bells, these artists, the Cool G Raps, the Big Daddy Kanes, the Eric B. and Rakims, the Nas's, the Public Enemies, like, they needed to get that kind of respect. You know what I'm saying? From a station and from a platform, not just from a small core audience that loves them, but from so that everybody could experience it, right? So now it's like people, when you turn on Rock the Bells, you're getting a full-blown classic hip-hop experience that the entire classic hip-hop community embraces, endorses, and respects and appreciates because it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's not fake. It's not phony. It's not kind of outsider-ish. It's like the real thing. You know what I'm saying? The real shit. So that's what I wanted to do. And I felt like these artists deserved it. I felt like they weren't getting that treatment and they deserved it. So that's what I did.
You use a very key term, man, outsider-ish. Because you come from the culture, because you come from, just understanding the nuance. You can't study this. You live this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could read a book, you could Wikipedia, you could Google and all of that. But when you was really there, you know what I'm saying? It has a different feeling and a different understanding. That's what Rock the Bells feels like. And I love breaking bells. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can hear something classic from Public Enemy, but then you can hear the new joint. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Produced by DJ Premier.
Exactly. And that was the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Just the that State of the Union joint. But yeah, that's the whole thing, right? These artists still deserve to be able to communicate and speak to their fans. And, and like, my thing is, like, for the shorties, it's like, yo, we not Rock the Bells ain't one of them places that doesn't respect what the new generation is doing. It's none of that. Like, it's the exact opposite. Like, I embrace the younger generation. I want them to rock. Like, I want them to, you know, if they make joints that I feel really make sense for the classic hip hop audience, or if they want to do throwback joints or have some fun and do something different, I'm there for them. Like, I'm not like this Rock the Bells thing is about, this is a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the newest generation. You guys rock the newest. And we're holding up the roots and the foundation of it. And we bridge the gap together. So it's not about, there's no separation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm clear on what's going on. Like, I love Lil Baby. I love the Baby. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of
guys. Those my guys.
NBA young boy. Like I'm fine with like all the young artists. You know what I'm saying? From Travis even to Drake to all the different generations. Right? Like, I respect them all. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with them, with these guys, with the new generation, just hearing what we're doing. Like, okay, this is where it came from. This is how things started. This is what Unc was rocking. This is what Auntie was rocking. This is how she felt. This is what they were doing. It gives them an opportunity to just kind of experience it and learn it. And I know it's cool because I know when I was a little kid, I wanted to know what Rick James was doing and what these ones were doing and what that one was doing. So this is an opportunity for people to learn and experience with Unc and with moms and pops and everybody was rocking with. And it's a cool way to just learn about our culture, because that's what it is. It's all our
all culture, for sure. And you hear so many of the newer artists now sampling joints. Like, hip hop sampling hip hop is so crazy to me, but that's where we are, man. LL Cool J is here. It's Hip Hop Nation. Your tour guide is here. Listen, this is a LL Cool J appreciation show, so I'm gonna run through some joints. I'm jumping into Ill Bomb. Ill Bomb. L, can we do that? Yeah. I mean, rest in peace. LL is here, your boy Torae is here, let's go. On the wake up, it's Hip Hop Nation, the icon, you know what I mean, the legendary LL Cool J is here. Yo, L, thank you, man, for not only for joining us today, but, man, your continuous contributions to this culture in so many different ways. You know, you were one of the guys who opened the door for people to be able to be accepted into Hollywood coming from hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You one of those pioneers again in that lane as well. And now we see it, and now it's so just normal to us now to see an artist in a movie or a television show or whatever. But, you know, when you were doing it, I'm sure there was some initial like pushback from Hollywood. What are these rap guys doing here? Yourself and Latifah and Will Smith and guys like that. You know, so talk to me just about breaking into Hollywood television and film.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You know, back then when we first started, you know, getting into Hollywood, it was more about the hip hop community being uncomfortable with the idea that we were branching out. You know, Hollywood was kind of a little more open to it because we were bringing those audiences with us, and they, you know, they looked at it as a business opportunity.
Right.
But the hip hop community saw it as like, oh, you're selling out if you go do hip hop. I mean, if you go do a TV show, if you go do something like that, like you're outside of the box. So we had to evolve as a culture. Like, hip hop culture has evolved. It went from people believing that you had to stay in the smallest box. Like, yo, you only gonna talk to 25-year-old dudes about gangster shit forever. From that one spot, and it kind of expanded, and the culture grew and evolved, and people understood, oh, wow, well, you know, he's hustling. Like, oh, this dude is like, he's utilizing all of his gifts and talents. Like, yo, he's really about it. Like, people started respecting the moves, that the things that they used to call you a sellout for, they started respecting. The move, understanding that you're not selling out, you're just using your talents. You know what I'm saying? And that was but that took time. That took a long time. That took a long time. But that was probably the big difference. And then, you know, after that, it became, okay, well, are you going to forget where you came from, though? Mm-hmm. Right? So that's kind of like the next question. So the thing for me has always been, you know what? Yes, I don't limit myself. You know, I always go to the next level in terms of what I'm doing, but I don't forget where I came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't forget, you know, my nieces and nephews. I don't forget, you know, my community. I don't forget, you know, I got 250 kids that I send to camp every summer. This year we weren't able to do it because of COVID, but we will be doing it next year again, God willing. So it's remembering where you came from, but being willing to expand. But, you know, the dude, you know, the superstar once told me, he said, yo, never limit yourself.
Right.
And it's the realest thing in the world. So if you have dreams, if you have goals, if you have things you want to do, go for it. There's nothing corny about your dream. And there is no rule that says that your dream, if your dream isn't a macho dream or it ain't like in a certain category, it's not valid.
Right.
If you want to be a sculptor, if you want to be a a botanist, you know what I'm saying? If you want to grow plants.
I got a ficus right over there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If you want to be a zoologist, like you can, like, I just want these youngsters to know, like, yo, you can do anything you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I did. Like, I just was bold enough to not care. Like, I didn't care what other people thought. Like, it didn't matter. Like, I knew I would catch a little heat here and there. Oh, you do a love song? Oh, you're going to do TV? But it didn't matter because I feel like the real courageous and the real valor and the real boldness is in going for what your dream is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And making it happen. You know, to piggyback off of that, we went 12 seasons of NCIS, man. That is crazy. When you got on board with this show and this franchise, did you see it lasting this long and just having, just the staying power that it has?
Absolutely not, man. I thought we'd last 6 months, 2 years, and be out. I'm not even going to lie to you.
24 episodes in and out.
Like, yeah. He did 20 episodes. It was great. Yeah. So what are you doing now? Oh, working on the album. And, right. Like I just figured, and it just kind of happened. These things, sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle.
For sure.
And this was one of those moments. And what can I say? I'm just very grateful that it happened. And I just want to keep doing different things. I want to keep trying to take it to the next level. But one thing about the show, we don't phone it in. We take it very seriously. We work hard. I believe that leadership is important. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't run up on set cocky and arrogant and looking down our nose at, other people. Like, we really are focused in trying to make the best show we can. And we put our all into every take. And the people have responded. The other night on the premiere was the #1 most watched program, on TV, drama on Sunday night. So that's a prime example. So, we're just going to continue to try to do great work. Hopefully people continue to enjoy it and we go from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it was a fire episode. If you haven't seen it, man, check it out. The Bear is the title of the episode. I saw Offset was on set with you and did some stuff. Shout out to Offset. Shout out to Cardi. Did you know that Around the Way Girl was one of Cardi B's favorite records?
I didn't know until I saw on IG, Cardi was rocking to it and all that. And, I appreciate Cardi. Offset's my little man. You know what I'm saying? That's my little bro. I want to tell him congratulations because he got a movie that he's doing with O'Shea Jackson Jr. They have a movie that they're working on. But, yeah, Offset had hit me and he was like, yo, I want to do the NCIS show. I want to be on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can we do? I want to act. And I just, figured it out. I went, I met with the producers, I met with people, and we just kind of was able to work from the behind the scenes, get Offset on the show, and hopefully he'll be coming back again. And look, man, anything I could do to, help the younger generation, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? If they need my help, if they need my support, they just got to reach out. Like, there's a lot of young artists, they may need some advice. They may just want to, it ain't got to be about the money. Like, they may need some advice. They may want to know something or just want to bounce something off me. I'm around. They could DM me. They could get with me. You know what I'm saying? And just holler at me. And, if I can help, I will. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man. And that's super important. It's super important to have, mentors and people in this game that been down that road that can help you avoid some of the pitfalls and, again, learn from each other. LL Cool J here, man, bridging the gap. Listen, not only Cardi B loves Around the Way Girl, but a lot of the Hip Hop Nation family, myself included. So let's get into that, man. Some classic LL. Normally you can catch this on Rock the Bells, but right now we rocking on the tour guide.
No question. Let's do it.
Hip Hop Nation is one of those days for me. I get real excited when it's hip hop in here. LL Cool J is here. L, I've said this numerous times, the times that I've seen you in passing, and of course, people who listen to the show. Somebody who's inspired me in a million ways, man. For me, wanting to do music, you know what I'm saying? LL was one of the people whose blueprint I followed. For me, wanting to jump into TV and acting and doing movies and films, LL, again, your blueprint. Even now, being on radio, I'm comfortable with doing this because as an MC, it was like, yo, how you going to do radio? That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? But because of the groundwork that you guys put down and put forth, it was just an easier transition for me to be able to do that. Do you ever not get tired of it, but are you ever just taken aback by how many people from different walks of life say that you inspired them in their path?
You know what, man? It's funny, man. I honestly just, I'm truly humbled by it. and I know it's a great responsibility. And I think that's why you know what, Tor? I dream real big. I dig real deep. I work real hard. You know what I'm saying? And I just truly, want to maximize all of the potential that's inside of me. You know what I'm saying? And if I could continue to strive to maximize my potential and maximize what's inside of me, that will inspire that potential, and that optimization of my potential and me taking it to the next level will help everybody that's coming behind me. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like in racing, or drag racing, like you draft, or at NASCAR,
yeah, like you draft, right.
You draft, or like a boat, you the wake of a boat. Like I'm trying to open up as much territory as I can to everybody behind me, and it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get tired of it. I don't get souped up off it. Right. I don't get arrogant off it. Like I ain't, feeling myself because of it. I'm just thankful that, I'm able to make moves that inspire people, man. Because if you can inspire people to do more, be more, learn more, and dream more, that's what great leadership is about. You know what I'm saying? That's why even right now, with what's going on in the country, it's the morale of the country that's at stake. Mm-hmm. People think it's only policies.
Right.
But it's not only about policy. Yes, you can argue many different ways about policies, but what you can't argue is how certain people feel about having certain people in office.
Right. That part. You know, and I wanted to ask, I guess, your take, because, I was featured on your story, right, as one of the people who went out and used my platform and voted, and how important that was, especially in this year. And then you see, some of your peers, some of your counterparts, guys like Ice Cube or Kanye West. And I know you've been vocal about some of the things that Ye's done, but how did you feel when you saw those guys just kind of aligning with people that didn't necessarily reflect all of our thoughts or feelings and what's happening in the world?
Well, I'll say, first of all, I want to say that with Ice Cube, I know people are a little mad at him, but they got to understand that that's a miscommunication. Ice Cube is not a Trump supporter. I know that for a fact. He, the way he went about things, he got caught up in the matrix a little bit.
Right.
He did. He definitely got caught up in the matrix. Ain't no need of bullshitting. But I know his heart was in the right place. He's not a Trump supporter. Now, with Yeezy and with Wayne, that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I mean? They support homie and they're into it. Look, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get over here and say that anybody deserves to be canceled, or because I still want to see these black men succeed in general, because I feel like we as a people, we need as many successful black men and women as we can have, right? So, sure. And people have a right to their opinion. But what I will say is this. Ultimately, for me, I think the way my people feel is important. And I think sometimes, success and celebrity has a way of putting you in a position where you sincerely and genuinely forget.
That's real.
But it's not arrogance.
Yeah,
it's a true blind spot. It's like when you're in the kitchen and you're looking for your keys, and if you're not a person that hangs your keys on the same hook every day, like you're like, yo, I can't find my keys.
Frantic, right.
Remote, and it's right there in the sheets of the bed. The remote is sitting right there. Like, I think that sometimes that happens with people, and so I would say, I know that the majority of people listening, they're like, yo, I don't want to hear no mercy shit. Like, they don't want, because people are emotional and they don't want to hear it, right? Like, people are like, listen, man, I don't want to hear nothing about no mercy, I don't, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they feel.
Right, that's how they feel, and it's real.
But I would say, take it on a case-by-case basis. Don't throw everybody into the same category. I think, what Cube did and what Yeezy and Wayne did are totally different. And look, all three of them are super talented. All three of them are amazing. All three of them got incredible fan bases. All three of them will be fine. But I just don't want people to, what we can't allow is we can't allow the ops to separate us.
That part. That part. We got to figure it out. We got to figure it out together. And even if I guess we disagree, you know what I'm saying, understand and move on and build. But we need more success stories coming from the places that we come from and for people that look like us. 1,000%. El, before I let you go, I got a couple more questions. Musically, I've seen a few things, man. I saw that you were back with Def Jam and that I remember you tweeting out or maybe posting that Q-Tip was doing some production. So please expound on both of those things real quick.
Yeah. I did a deal with Def Jam to do an album. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like, you know, it would be a good place for me to do it. Because I did one little experimental project that wasn't on Def Jam and it didn't work, and it just felt a little weird. Like, so it's like, you know what? Let me just do this joint on Def Jam. It felt right to me. So I did a deal with Def Jam to do the album. They got a real talented new regime up there. I said, you know what? Let's do it. For the culture, I think it's a good look.
I love it culturally. I just, you know, Def Jam, it ain't Russell and Rick and Kevin and Julie and Kai's.
It ain't, but it's a different world now, right? It's a different world. I think, you know, from a legacy standpoint, it works. In terms of just when you talk about business infrastructure and all of that, that's a whole nother conversation, right? I think that the whole music business in general has changed. Right. But I have a lot of conversations with Kev, you know what I'm saying, Kevin Lyles. I have a lot of conversations with a lot of people. So, you know, when the project comes, it'll definitely be dealt with the right way. And I know that there's some talented young people at Def Jam that are looking to prove themselves, that haven't really necessarily had recently the material that they want to kind of help them go show people what they got. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give it. And I think what me and Q-Tip have been working on is going to be really fire for my day one fans. I think that, you know, look, you know, the Hip Hop Nation fans, obviously, you know, they're like, oh, come on, old head, you don't want to listen to it. If they listen to it, I think they're probably going to love it. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm not doing is I'm not trying to like fake it. I'm not trying to like, you know, ride the wave. I'm going to give y'all that original strictly OG LL Cool J, but it's going to be the 2021, 2022 version. You know what I'm saying? Like real current and real modern. And I'm going to just take it, you know, somewhere else, you know, just really brushing up on the bars, brushing up on the skills, you know, brushing up on the schemes, the wordplay, you know, the couplets, making sure that it's what it needs to be. And I think people are going to be pleasantly, I think people will be pleased when they hear it. I think, you know, the music Tip been giving me and the tracks and the stuff we've been working on, this shit is crazy. That's but I could show you better than I could tell you, right?
Heard you. You've always been the guy to show and not tell. Speaking of showing, great segue. L was not in the Rampage video. I always wanted to know, man, why was it a fucking silhouette in the Rampage video? Where were you, man? What happened?
I was definitely in the video. I was definitely behind the screen. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, we was just wilding at that time, man. My pops was crazy. It's like, yo, the video and what you doing? And so we just did the silhouette, but that was definitely me in the video.
That was really you in the video. It was not a stunt double.
I was sitting on the desk. I had a Dapper Dan jacket. I had a long Dapper Dan trench coat on. It was me in the video for sure.
We couldn't even see the dad. We couldn't even see the dad piece.
I know. Yo, I know. My pops was managing me at the time, and he was the wild out, man. He was like, you know, yeah. So I said I had to compromise, but I wanted to do the video for EPMD, you know, and Def Jam was being real sticklers about it and funny about it because, you know, I was on fire at the time and all that. So, but I wanted to do it. So that was like kind of the compromise that we came up with. But yeah, it was definitely me in the video. That's definitely me, 100%.
100%. You know, it's funny, man. As I've been having these conversations with some of the OGs, and they've been talking about a lot of the politics. Yo, the label wouldn't clear this person to be on this song. And, you know, I'm just like all these different things. There's so much like that goes into it that the fans don't know. So it's always great to be able to clear the air. Oh, thank you so much, man, again, for your time today. You know, Rock the Bells Radio, Channel 43. Make sure you get over there, check out some of the classics. You can hear a guy like J. Cole on the Gangstar record. You know what I'm saying? And vibes like that, you know, so you can understand how we are bridging the gap between Hip Hop Nation and Rock the Bells. And, you know, from the OGs to the new Gs, we all one family, man. We all in the same gang.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, Talk.
All good, man. We gonna close out with one more joint. I think I need Booming System for all my cars out there riding. You heard?
Let's get it.
Salute. Thank you so much. Peace.
Peace and love, Talk. One love. Love, man.